Representatives of some major oil marketers in the country gathered here before the House of Representatives ad hoc committee investigating debt owed to the petroleum pipeline marketing company by oil marketers. But according to one of the marketers, it is the federal government that is owing them.
The total debt in the industry is approximately 300 billion as we speak, and as 40 we have 13.876. One of the things that committee is currently working on is to see if there can be a net off of the debts, such that we can continue with the importation of petroleum products, because right now we can't even do much, and we don't want a situation where there will be a pile-up of queues in the country.
It was, however, clear that some of the companies owed, and the lawmakers put forward this position.
We know that you were owing for a while from the records they gave to us. We have a breakdown of all of that. What you paid as interest to make you debt-free, and then also to show this payment that you made between December 30th to January.
Latest by Monday. If you cannot write that to us, you have to go and write that to us, that you agree to pay 50% of it within this week. Otherwise, we instruct PPMC to stop giving you product for the period of 2.5 weeks.
Meanwhile, the chairman of the ad hoc committee charged with investigating the $17 billion allegedly stolen through undeclared crude oil and liquefied natural gas export to global destinations between 2011 and 2014 has frowned at the absence of the central bank governor at their hearing.
The second letter that they responded was like a shock because the letter was stating that they do not have in their records some undeclared crude oil sales. And we are surprised. The first letter said we have the records, they are too voluminous. The other one said we do not have records. We are actually disappointed that very serious issue of this nature, and we expect the Central Bank of Nigeria, that is key to unraveling some of these things, and is dragging us back.
The chairman says he expects that all agencies will partner with the government to fight corruption, even as he says the committee will still write to the CBN governor to appear before the committee. The House of Representatives Joint Committee on Public Procurement and Niger Delta Affairs has disclosed that about 450 billion naira has so far been expended on the Niger Delta region under the Presidential Amnesty Program. The chairman of the committee, Representatives Wale Oke, who made this disclosure at an investigative hearing into alleged violation of the Public Procurement Act by the Presidential Amnesty Committee, however, noted that the funds did not yield the expected result, as restiveness has since continued in the region. An ex-militant, Morocco Wilfred, who spoke at the hearing, alleged that the Presidential Amnesty Program was fraught with corruption and embezzlement.
The whole Nigeria that you are seeing today, if not the leaders that are misbehaving, it's not you that are misbehaving. No. There is money now located to the Amnesty office. You will not see the money. If they say they should train people for 1 year, you will see that the person that you train for 1 year will not know anything about that work. And if the person is good or not, they will repatriate the person. If they are abroad, they will send her to Nigeria. Because they think that they know the president, they see that you have no godfather to speak for you, they will just die your matter, you will not finish that training. So the whole Niger data the whole country is corrupt.
Next is a roundup of some of the budget defense sessions still going on in the National Assembly and other activities that took place this week.
The National Assembly is asking the Ministry of Environment and other agencies under it to come up with relevant amendments that will enhance efficiency and effectiveness in the environment sector. The Chairman House Committee on Environment, Representatives Obinna Chidoka, said this at a valedictory session with the former Minister of Environment, where he revealed that the committee will engage with the ministry and other key players to address environmental challenges across the country. The former Minister of Environment, Mrs. Amina Mohammed, says the United Nations will always consider Nigeria when putting together its projects.
May I bring to your notice some burning topical issues which the committee will be addressing in the days and weeks ahead. These issues include addressing the root cause of the incidences of black soot in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, the pollution of canals and creeks in the Niger Delta region, which has continued to render the people helpless and hapless, the massive logging of woods, mainly in the northern part of Nigeria, which is rendering the environment even more vulnerable to devastating effects of desertification, resulting to massive loss of our biodiversity. Devastating incidences of erosion across the country, burning and destruction of oil barges and illegal refinery in the Niger Delta in a manner that adds salt to injury to the environment.
The reform of the UN system is probably something that also needs to happen within our country and the governance structures that we have. We were privileged, again, Nigeria was chosen to be part of the team that President Kagame has for the AU reform. And when we went to the AU meeting, that reform was given a resounding approval, and it's now going to implementation. So again, Nigeria, I think, has really earned its credit. So I hope that at the UN, we will bring the issues of Nigeria to the UN, not because they're just Nigerian, but because they are a reflection of what is happening in the world everywhere.
The House Committee on Culture and Tourism is urging the executive to fashion out policies that would drive the tourism sector to contribute to the nation's economy. The chairman of the committee, who was speaking during a budget defense by the Ministry of Information and Culture, advised the minister to ensure that the tourism sector gets all the funds it requires to make it economically viable. He also says that the culture and tourism has a major role to play in terms of revenue generation, especially with the current economic situation in the country.
We are blessed and endowed with these monuments, heritage sites. Our talents are tied to our culture. We do not need too much in that sector other than to support it, to go back to our roots and let our people showcase our culture, help them take it up and market it.
The commandant of the Nigerian Defense Academy is appealing to the National Assembly to facilitate the release of about 6 billion naira outstanding funds appropriated to the Academy in the 2016 budget. Major General Mohammed Ibrahim said this during a meeting with the House Committee on Defense, where he revealed that the Academy was only able to implement 37% of the 2016 budget due to the lack of resources. He also revealed that the Academy spends about 15 million naira monthly on electricity bills and sought the intervention of the lawmakers in putting an end to this setback.
The delay in capital releases has seriously hindered execution of capital projects, crucial for effective training of our officer cadets. We wish to appeal to this honorable committee to come to our aid in securing releases of the balance of 6,126,931,291 naira only to enable us complete our ongoing projects. The distinguished House Committee kindly assist Nigerian Defense Academy in the following areas. A. Facilitate the releases of outstanding capital and overhead costs appropriated in year 2016 budget. B. Approve additional capital vote and overhead costs to the Academy in year 2017 budget proposals. C. Facilitate timely releases of funds to NDA.
Just so you know, the lawmakers hope to conclude their engagement with the different ministries, departments and agencies this week, and it will then be time to submit their committee recommendations on the 2017 budget to the Senate and House Appropriation Committees. What has been your impression so far as regards the work the National Assembly is doing on the 2017 budget? Well, let me hear from you through any of the addresses on the screen. At this point, I'd like to thank you for staying with me, and I hope to see you next time. I'm Lanre Lasese. Take care.